Right guys, time for another RLR beer shot. For this one we go to Newstead, Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Another beer from the wonderful Range Brewing. This one is called Miles to Go, coming in at 8.2% ABV, a West Coast Imperial Double, whatever you want to call it, IPA. This one's brewed with Chinook, Citra Cryo, Idaho 7 Hyper Boost, and an experimental hop from New Zealand, Clayton hops, CIP number 14. Really interesting beer, this one. A very oily and slick West Coast IPA, but not the most pungent of things, but still very enjoyable. So the beer pours this lovely kind of pale golden straw colour. Not much of a head on it when you pour it out, of course. It's quite soapy, but that fades away very quickly. The other thing about this one is that the aroma isn't all that pungent. Nice bit of oily, biscuity character and some nice fruity notes. But yeah, the focus should be on the flavour, so let's go there. So the backbone of this beer, lovely kind of fresh white bready bread crust in there, a little bit of brown bread as well. Then you've got a wee touch of woodiness, Jacob's cream cracker sitting on top of that. Quite a compressed malty character in this beer, incidentally. You've got the oily wholemeal brown bready character in there, the white bready notes sitting on top of that, which is kind of slightly sweeter. Wee bit of a toasty brown sugary character there. A big circle in the middle of your palate, like McVitie's digestive biscuit around the edge. Oily sweet caramel, then that more concentrated McVitie's digestive biscuity oil in the centre of your palate, the boozy flavours in other words. But yeah, on the back third of your palate you start to get the yeasty side of this beer. At its core it's a more kind of dense and slightly sweet brown bread, a bit of a drier brown bread around the edge, a more dense and sweet white bready character in there, and a wee bit of a bread crusty note. The yeasty character gives you a wee bit of lingering dryness into the aftertaste with the beer. But yeah, the hoppy side of this one is very oily. A little bit of earthiness in the back corners of the palate as you move further forward. Wee bit woody, wee bit herbal, tiny touch of pine resin there, but yeah, oily floral aromaticity and wet, freshly cut grass around the front curve of the tongue. The fruity side of this one is quite interesting, very tropical leaning. So at the back of that front third of your palate, not much grapefruit, which I would expect from Chinook, but yeah, you've got a little bit of peach from the Kiwi experimental hop, lots of oily mango underneath from the Citra and the Idaho 7, some passion fruit in there too. As you move further forward, a wee bit of apricot and then pineapple sitting on top of that. Then as you move into the front half, there's a little bit more of a kind of lychee, gooseberry sort of thing, and a wee bit of lime just behind the very front kind of tip of your tongue there, and I think those elements are from the Citra. But yeah, Citra and Idaho 7 I think are the more dominant fruity characters in this one, and probably a little bit from the experimental hop too. Mouthfeel wise, I'd say mid-bodied, very smooth carbonation, lovely oily thickness to it, very low IBU, be surprised if it's 20. Malt base is a wee bit drier underneath, smoother in the middle, oily and slick on top, and as I say, you've got that oily tropical fruity note to this one. A very interesting beer, but for me it just needs that little touch more bitterness to kind of give you that punch that you want from a West Coast IPA. But still, I did really like this one. Miles to Go, 8.2% West Coast double IPA from Range Brewing in Newstead, Brisbane.